Fellas, we're back. We're back indeed. This is my new series I'm going to do every Wednesday. It'll be Wednesday night Bible study, like little podcast style. Put me on in the background if you're doing something else. Because I'm really just about to be just really talking. Because I can talk for hours about this right here. With this Bible study, I'm hoping that this expands your understanding on the Bible. And it helps a lot. So I'm not going to waste no time. I'm going to get right into it. Episode 1. Faith. Faith in who? Jesus. God too, yes, but today we're going to be talking about Jesus and faith in him. Well, who is Jesus? Right? This is Jesus right here. You probably thought it was, where's the other photo? You probably thought it was him. Let me move this. This is who America says it is. Oh, here's Jesus right here, right? That's not him. Fun fact, these sketches of Jesus were made in the 15 and 1600s because that's what the people who painted him looked like. They were white Europeans. So they made Jesus white European because that's what they looked like. And it just came on down to generations. When you go to church, this is who you see right here. And that's not what he looks like. This is what he looks like right here. But they're not going to paint that because it doesn't look, I guess, as aesthetically pleasing as this right here. This is really what he looked like. Jesus was a Jew from the 1st century. So it's the 21st century right now. A century, essentially, the 1st century and the 21st century, that's 2,000 years past. So he was born in 1 AD. 1 AD. It's 2026 right now. He was born in 1. Basically what happened with him is there was a guy hundreds of years before he was born named Isaiah. He said one day there's going to be a prophet that comes, the Messiah, the one that's going to change the world. So if you could imagine, people was like, okay, I bet I'm him. So for years, hundreds of years, people was like, oh, nah, I'm the Messiah. Oh, nah, this guy's the Messiah, hyping up random people. But then the stars align. The story of Christmas. All that stuff happened, right? We got a guy named Jesus. So, I got the online Bible. You can get your Bible out if you want to. I'm reading the NIV version on here. But I got the online Bible. So, this is what, with Jesus, right? So, Jesus essentially was someone who did many miracles. And people followed him for it. Some people said it was witchcraft. Some people said it was the devil's work. But people followed him for it. So here's how he got some of his disciples, just real quick. So watch this right here. I'm going to read Luke 5, verse 1. One day as Jesus was standing by the lake of that I don't know how to pronounce it. The people were crowding around him and listening to the word of God. Jesus spoke everywhere he went. He spoke. He gave people the good news about God. Because before his time, there was people knew about Moses and Isaiah and King David, all these folks. But Jesus is telling them about, basically everything, right? He saw at the water's edge 2 boats left there by the fishermen who were washing their nets. He got into one of the boats, the one belonging to Simon, or Peter, but a lot of people know him as, and asked him to put out a little from shore. Then he sat down and taught the people from the boat. He just preached to these folks, the fishermen. He just preached to them. And look at this next verse. When he had finished speaking, he said to Simon, "Put out into deep water and let down the nets for a catch." Listen to this next verse. Simon answered, Master, we've worked hard all night and haven't caught anything. But because you say so, I will let down the nets. He's like, hey man, look. He's like, look, you said so. We've been out here all night. All night we've been out here. And we ain't got nothing. When they had done so, they caught such a large number of fish, their nets began to break. Think about it. You've been out fishing all night. My dad, my older brother, everybody go out fishing all night. Right? Nothing. Nada. You can't feed your family. You can't eat. A random dude comes up to you and first of all, he's preaching to you. You're like, okay, I'm hearing him, whatever. You know, this guy's a rabbi. He's a teacher. By this time, he had become a teacher, a rabbi, all those things, right? So he's like, okay, this guy's a rabbi. He's a teacher. He's talking to us. Now he's telling me to put my net deep in the water. Oh, well, all right. I mean, I ain't caught nothing all day. And in verse 6, when they had done so, they had caught such a large number of fish, their nets began to break. So they signaled their partners in the other boat to come and help them. They came and filled both boats so full that they began to sink. Bro. All night. It's wild, right? So check this out. When Simon Peter saw this, he fell at Jesus' knees and said, "Go away from me, Lord. I'm a sinful man." For he and all his companions were astonished at the catch of fish they had taken. So these were James and John, the sons of Zebedee, Simon's partners. Then Jesus said to Simon, "Don't be afraid. From now on you will fish for people." So they pulled their boats up on shore, left everything, and followed him. That's how, that right there is how a lot of these people became disciples. He preached to them. Then he showed them his power. And they're like, oh man, because he's a rabbi, Peter knew. He's like, hey man, I'm a sinful man. But again, that's where grace comes in. And I got a lot of episodes to make. I'm not going to lie. So I talked about faith, right? Well, what's faith? Faith, let's go to Hebrews 11, chapter 1. This is the author. People don't know who the author is. We just know it's somebody from the generation ahead of Jesus. So Jesus came, then his friends, kids, is the author of this. Now, faith is the confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. This is what the ancients were commanded for. By faith, we understand that the universe was formed at God's command, so that what is seen was not made out of what was visible. Now, in case you didn't understand that, let me show you what it means. Faith is what makes real the things we hope for. It is proof of what we cannot see. God was pleased with the people who lived a long time ago because they had faith like this. Faith helps us understand that God created the whole world by his command. This means that the things we were made by something that cannot be seen. What this is saying is having faith. First of all, having faith in something is like having faith in, let's go to sports. Having faith in basketball, right? I believe. Faith is belief. So I believe that LeBron will have 35 tonight, right? And I believe it. And I believe it so much that I don't even got to watch the game. I know that he's going to do it. And you have faith like that. He's 41 years old now. It's hard for him to do it. But you can have faith like that. But what the author is saying is, it's by having faith about, first of all, God is pleased with people who have faith. But it's understanding that something we cannot see, we still have faith for. As in, we can't see God. We cannot see him. We have no idea what he looks like. We've got no idea where he is. We cannot see him, but we have faith that he is real. In this world, it really is difficult to be a believer a lot of times because they always push you away. Science, evolution, all that stuff will push you away from faith, if I'm being honest, even in school. And we can't even help it a lot of times. Biology class, they tell you, this is the beginning of the world, blase, this, that, third, whatever. But nobody ever talks about the creator. But what this is saying is faith helps us understand that God created the whole world by his command. That means the things we were made by something that cannot be seen. We were made by God, but we cannot see him. But that lets us know if we believe in him and we can't see him, that's true faith. So I'm going to go a little further, right? Let's go to John 20, verse 24. Watch this. Now, like I said, I'm a little ahead of myself, but bear with me. Jesus just now has died on the cross. Roman crucifixion. And 3 days after he's dead, there was by the way, at his tomb, they had a Roman guard guarding it all night to make sure nobody took the body out. But it was a few women had went by, Mary Magdalene being one of them, to the tomb, and the tomb was empty. So Jesus then appeared to them and appeared to a lot more people, right? So the news is kind of spreading that he had rose from the dead. Yes, this is real, folks. He rose from the dead. Verse 24. Now Thomas, one of the 12, was not with the disciples when Jesus came. So the other disciples told him, "We have seen the Lord." Like I said, he's dead. Everybody just seen this man with his hands marked on a wooden beam. We just seen it. Crucified. They had the little sickles poking him in the side. Shirt off. Dead. Impaling his side. You can't survive that. That's not human, right? This is what Thomas said. He seen that, and this is what he said. Unless I see the nail marks in his hands, right? The nail marks. And put my finger where the nails were, and put my hand into his side, I will not believe. Thomas is like, hey, I gotta see it to believe it. This is what he's saying. The next week, it said a week later, his disciples were in the house again, and Thomas was with them. Though the doors were locked. The doors was locked. Jesus came and stood among them and said, "Peace be with you." Yes, you seen Dragon Ball Z? You know how Goku would put his hand and do instant transmission? That's how he showed up. The doors is locked. But it said that he came and stood among them. And he said, "Peace be with you." Then he said to Thomas, remember Thomas, he just said, unless I see the nail marks in his hands and put my finger where the nails were, put my hand to his side where they pierced him, I will not believe. Listen to what Jesus said to Thomas. Because he knew Thomas was skeptic. That's why they call him Doubting Thomas. He said to Thomas, "Put your finger here. See my hands. Reach out your hand and put it into my side. Stop doubting and stop doubting and believe." Everything you asked, he did, bro. So how you gonna respond? This is how he responded right here. Thomas said to him, "My Lord, my God." Now look, this is for us. This next verse is for us. This right here, verse 29. Listen carefully. Then Jesus told him, "Because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed." Let me read it again. Then Jesus told him, "Because you have seen me, you've seen me, Thomas. This Jesus was right in front of him. Like I said, at this time Jesus is 30 years old. So it's like 30 AD. And it's 2026. That's almost 2,000 years to the T. But Thomas seen him. We haven't seen him. He said, because you have seen, you have believed. But blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed. It's just like this verse right here, bro. It's literally this verse. Faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. Bro, we can't see this guy. But do we believe that he was real? Then do we believe that he was the Son of God? Then do we believe that he rose from the dead? That's what faith is, right? That's the definition of faith. Just knowing. So let's go to Matthew, right? Real quick. Matthew, Mark. So the Bible, right? We got the Bible. There's the Old Testament and the New Testament. Just in case you don't know. The New Testament is basically Jesus. It's the Jesus story. And there are 4 different accounts of Jesus. 4. Written by different people. The first is Matthew. He comes first because historians believe that he was the first to write it. Matthew. He was a disciple of Jesus. He's seen Jesus with his own eyes. Then we have Mark. Another disciple of Jesus. Seen him with his own eyes. Luke. A non-disciple. He was a very smart guy. He was a medical doctor, right? And he knew Peter, Simon Peter, this cat that couldn't fish. He knew Peter and he knew Paul. And then John. Personally, my favorite gospel. All of these are the same story basically of Jesus' life, but different perspectives and then different writing styles. Because like I said, Matthew was a tax collector. Then he followed Jesus. Mark, I've got to do more research on Mark. I'm not too sure what he was. Luke was a doctor, right? So his writing is going to be a little bit more technical. He shows the complete genealogy of Jesus from the beginning to where he was. And then John, that's Jesus' favorite disciple. And he let us know he was his favorite disciple too at the end of John. It's crazy. But this is Matthew, right? So anyway, at this time right here, Jesus is healing people and preaching. And when you got a guy that heals people, like you see it, like a blind man, literally, and he makes him not blind, like stuff like that, that makes you say, hey, this dude right here he's the Son of God and all that, right? So, Matthew chapter 8, verse 5. Let's read this. When Jesus had entered Capernaum, a centurion came to him asking for help. Roman centurion. Basically a Roman soldier. And it's a centurion that will put a thorn in his side, will put a spear in his side later when he dies. Crazy, right? This is what he said. Lord, he said, my servant lies at home paralyzed, suffering terribly. Jesus said to him, shall I come and heal him? He's ready to heal. This is God. He loves us. He wants us to be healthy. The centurion replied, listen to this. Lord, I do not deserve to have you come under my roof, but just say the word and my servant will be healed. For I myself am a man under authority with soldiers under me. I tell this one, go, and he goes, and that one, come, and he comes. I say to my servant, do this, and he does it. When Jesus heard this, he was amazed, and he said, Jesus was amazed. Because basically what the soldier said is, hey, look, you can come and do it, but I know you can do it from where you are right now. We're in the middle of the street. There's a million people around you. But I know that without even thinking about it, you could do it. I know you can. That's basically what he's saying. This is what Jesus said. He amazed Jesus. He said, "Truly I tell you, I have not found anyone in Israel with such great faith. I say to you that many will come from the east and the west and will take their places at the feast with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven." Those are people from the Old Testament. "But the subjects of the kingdom will be thrown outside into the darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth." Then Jesus said to the centurion, "Go, let it be done just as you believed it would." And at that, look. My bad, y'all can't see it very well. Look at this. And his servant was healed at that moment. Fam. Another example, bro. This is a Roman soldier. He's again like the Romans. He went under Roman crucifixion. But even he had to say, "Look, man, this is Jesus. And since I have faith in him, I know that he'll do it." "Oh, you want me to come to your house, bro?" "Nah, you can do it right where you stand. I have people under me that tell me to do this and that." And what he's basically saying is, Father God, Jesus, you are going to tell me to do this and that, and I'll be the one that's under you. I'm willing to serve you just as people serve me. Jesus said, "Look, go, let it be done just as you believed it would." And his servant was healed at that moment. That's wild, bro. So look at this. This right here is for us. Matthew chapter 8, verse 18. "When Jesus saw the crowd around him, he gave orders to cross to the other side of the lake." Let me look for a different translation of this right here. Let me see. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Let's see. Compare. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Look at this. "At the sight of the large crowds gathering around him, Jesus gave orders to his disciples to get ready to sail back over to the other side." You probably thinking, "Dante, why is that important?" All he's doing is telling him to get ready to go to the other side, right? But you really got to pay attention to this. "Then the teacher of the law came and said, 'Teacher, I will follow you wherever I go.' Wherever you go, I'm sorry." Jesus replied, "Foxes have dens and birds have nests, but the Son of Man has no place to lie his head." Another disciple said to him, "Lord, first let me go and bury my father." But Jesus told him, "Follow me and let the dead bury their own dead." Basically, this part isn't important. It's important, but it doesn't serve the purpose of what I'm talking about today. But it's just people's just making it. It's just the world, right? Just talking about people in the world. Well, this dude's like, "Hey man, let me go do this real fast," and this other dude's like, "Hey, I'm gonna do whatever you want me to do." That's just what's going on. It's difference in people, but you need to look at this. So remember what I said. He saw the large crowd, and the other translation, the correct one, is saying, "Get ready to go to the other side." Basically, he's saying we're gonna get ready because we are going. Jesus is saying we are going to the other side of the lake. Look at this right here. "Then he got into the boat and his disciples followed him. Suddenly, a furious storm came up on the lake, so that the waves were swept over the boat. But Jesus was sleeping." So I looked at a video a few months ago, and it was the Sea of Galilee where they are. This is a huge lake, bro. And those people that live down there, they say when the storm comes, it's insane. Like, folks go out there and die. If they even think of a storm, they even think a storm is coming, there will be no fishing whatsoever. You will die. Let me restart. A furious storm came up on the lake so that the waves swept over the boat. Waves going over the boat. But Jesus was sleeping. You're asleep? The disciples went and woke him, saying, Lord, save us. We're going to drown. They're about to die. But look what Jesus said. He replied, you of little faith, why are you so afraid? Then he got up and rebuked the winds and the waves, and it was completely calm. The men were amazed and asked, what kind of man is this? Even the winds and waves obey him. Bro, did you hear, first of all, who the disciples, bro, Peter and them, he just said they're going to cross over to the other side of the lake. They're going to cross over. That's what he said. But they didn't hear that. He says, Lord, save us. We're going to drown. And that's why he said what he said. You of little faith, why are you so afraid? Bro, I just told you we're going to the other side. They didn't have faith. When things happen in life and we say we have faith in God, we can't be crying and yelling and doing all this extra stuff. And then he tells us that he's going to make it. He's going to have us go through what we're going through. That's what this is saying. Because the disciples, they have forgotten who this was. I mean, look. Now, he did this, but before that, he healed many. He came into Peter's house. Peter's mother-in-law was dying in bed. He did all that. He healed all the sick. He healed the centurion's servant, a man with leprosy. He told him to be clean. And immediately he was clean. So you see him doing all this. That right there, for us, it's us reading it and then us believing it now. And he's like, bro, I just told you we're going to the other side. Why y'all got little faith? He's talking to us. A lot of people say, well, I can't see him. Hebrews 11, chapter 1. God is pleased with those who believes, the unseen, him. And Jesus said, blessed are those who believe who have not seen. We can't be like Thomas. And I'm not talking about Uncle Thomas. We don't need to say, look, basically that's like somebody who don't believe. They're like, he's going to have to strike lightning down on me. Electrocute me, do this, do that, appear, put letters in the sky, words in the sky, and then I'll believe. Nah. Blessed are those who believe but don't see. So anyway, let's go to Mark 5. For me, personally, this is the most faithful. This right here is very, very encouraging. This story right here. Insanely faithful, bro. This is what it looks like. I'm going to read it right now. This is Mark 5, chapter 4. So like I said, this story is also in the other ones, but Mark gives, like I said, it's Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Mark gives a little more detail with this story right here than Luke and John and Matthew. This is what he said. A large crowd pressed around him. So Jesus is walking. Think of the parade. You know the Lexington parade? The Lexington parade? That's like this man has went around healing people, curing diseases, pushing demons from people, doing all of that. That's what he's been doing. And now what we've done is we've said, okay, this guy, first of all, he claimed to be the Son of God. He said, the prophecies that we seen hundreds and hundreds of years ago, that's me. So that's already a attraction. And then he's doing what is said. We're going to go more into detail of all of this stuff in later episodes. But just know this man, this guy was not all talk. He literally did what he said, what the prophecy said. He did everything. And a lot of people did do that, but it didn't come with these miracles and stuff, right? So look at this. A large crowd followed and pressed around him. People followed him everywhere he went because everybody needed help. Everybody's sick. If he was here right now, you'd probably ask him to do this and that and this for you, for your family members. He did all of that. And a woman was there who had been subject to bleeding for 12 years. 12 years of hemorrhaging. 12 years of blood spilling all over. She had suffered a great deal under the care of many doctors and had spent all she had. Yet instead of getting better, she grew worse. Fam. She had went to, this says she had went to all the doctors and spent every dime she had. And back then, I mean, how's a woman that's gonna bleed get a job? How's a woman who bleeds, who hemorrhages for 12 straight years, how's she gonna get a job? How? Don't know. So she ain't got much money anyway. And now all the money that she did have is gone. Because they're all spent on doctors who can't do anything for her. But listen to this. When she heard about Jesus, she came up behind him in the crowd and touched his cloak. Like I say, he's a rabbi, Jesus. He's a rabbi. This ain't Jesus. She didn't touch this guy's cloak. Let me go to it. This guy, she didn't touch this cat's cloak. We don't know who this is right here. She touched his cloak because he was a rabbi, bro. A Jewish rabbi. He wore the long cloak. All that stuff he wore. That's what he did. Right? And she knew it was him. People's following him. She had made her way through the crowd, slipping in there, right? And touched his cloak. Because she thought, if I just touch his clothes, I will be healed. Let me read it again. Let me highlight it for you. What's your favorite color? Red? All right. I'll highlight it red. Dang, that's not an option, bro. I got pinochle on. I'll put orange. Because she thought, if I just touch his clothes, I will be healed. So what's it mean? Like I said earlier, what does it mean when you say, when you have belief? It's called faith, right? Immediately her bleeding stopped. And she felt in her body that she was freed from her suffering. Bro, did you see that? Do you see this right here? Immediately her bleeding stopped, and she felt it in her body that she was freed from suffering. Now check this out. At once, Jesus realized that power had gone out from him. He turned around in the crowd and asked, "Who touched my clothes?" This is a lot to when I first seen this, it was a lot for me to process, bro. Because I had to really think what he just said. The power had gone out from him. He turned around in the crowd and asked, "Who touched my clothes?" There's a million people following this guy, bro. Imagine a popular person's Instagram, right? And they're all digital, but they put all your Instagram followers behind you, and this man was insanely popular. But he realized, hey, something just happened. So you see the people crowding against you, his disciples answer, and yet you can ask, who touched me? They saying, hey Jesus, there's a lot of people behind you. What you mean who touched you? You see all the people behind you? But Jesus kept looking around to see who had done it. Listen, there's a lot of people that say, Dante, let me chill. There's a lot of people that say, oh, I'm a Christian, I do this and that. But did the power go out? Did you believe? Basically, did you believe because of the power that went out? I'm finna get into that. She just kept looking around to see who had done it. Then the woman, knowing what had happened to her, came and fell at his feet, trembling with fear, and told him the whole truth. The hemorrhaging 12 years. I thought, hey Jesus, look, my bad. I just knew if I touched your cloak, I'd be healed. Basically what she told him. And you know what he told her? Daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace and be freed from your suffering. Daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace and be freed from your suffering. Bro, literally, her faith healed her. Her faith? That's what did it. It wasn't because she was sick. It was because she was sick and she had faith. This is the key right here. This is why. Hold on a minute. Bro, this is why. Because she thought if I just touch his clothes, I will be healed. That is why she was healed. And Jesus said it too. Your faith has healed you. If a random would have walked up to him, right, and just touched his cloak, wouldn't nothing have happened. Everybody's behind him. But because she believed, she had faith. That's all it took. That's it. She had faith. She was healed. If we have faith, we can be healed. The trick is, right? The trick to it is us being those who have not seen. That's the predicament we are in. Us. We live in 2026. For years and years on end, people have tried to diminish it, and it still makes its way to our hearts. But he knows that he's about to go away. Like I said, around this time, he had just died on the cross, right? Brutally. One of the most brutal ways to die, by the way. We're talking about... Oh, shoot. We're talking about nails in his hands, tied up. Nails, like, bro, put nails in your hand, on a wooden beam. Splinters. Nails in your hands, right? Both hands. Hanging, and spears on your side, somebody to your side, hitting you with them spears, bro. He came back to life. But Thomas wasn't hearing it. Thomas said, hey, I got to see it. I got to see the nail marks. I got to see, you know what I'm saying? I got to put my hands where his fingernail, where the nails were. I got to do it all. I've got to see it. I've got to put my hand in his side. I'm back. But again, we can't be like Thomas, man. Thomas, he was one of the disciples, yes, but you can tell he's like a clout chaser. He just wanted to be around. Everybody's around him, everybody wants to see him, all that, whatever. But when it came to him doing something supernatural, unless I see the nail marks in his hands and put my finger where the nails were and put my hands into his side, I will not believe. This is somebody who's seen him with his own eyes. But like I said, for us, we are blessed because we see him, because we don't see him, but yet believe still. So I'm going to end it now. Like I said, it's the first episode, many more episodes to come. But this verse right here tells it. 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 7. For we live by faith, not by sight. This is my main man, Paul. And the church of Corinth, this is his second time, 2 Corinthians, talking to them because they're not doing right. And he's got to let them know, hey, look, guys, y'all can't see him. We cannot see him. But we got to be faithful. I mean, really look at this. Where's the ERV? Let's see here. We live by what we believe, not by what we can see. Come on now. Living our lives in a manner consistent with our confident belief in God's promises. That's really it, bro. That's why, again, Hebrews 11, we understand that the universe was formed at God's command so that what is seen was not made out of what was visible. We can't see what made us, man. Right here. He's telling us, hey, this is what's going to happen. And you of little faith, right? Why are you so afraid? He told his disciples exactly what would happen. But they got scared when the storm came. The centurion, right? He said, hey, man, you mean come heal your servant? He said, you're not even worthy to come to my house, Lord. I know you can do it right here where you are. I got servants to serve me, but you can come right where you are and do it from where you stand. He amazed Jesus. He said, go let it be done just as you believed it would. Then my favorite one. Where'd it go? Then I got rid of it. But the woman with the issue of blood, bro, I'm trying to tell you. She thought if I could just touch his cloak, I'll be healed. She had complete faith in that. There's nothing else to lose for her. She'd have went to all the doctors. What else is there to lose? The power came out of him. He said, sister, go in peace. You have been healed because you knew you were healed. Your faith is what saves you. So yeah, it's all about having faith. If you got something going on in your life and you can't help, you know nobody can help you out, you know your people's in trouble, whatever, have faith that God will make a way out of no way for you and your people. Because again, we're talking about a dude. I mean, you just look at the titles of these, like, heals a man with leprosy. Like I said, the Roman soldier's faith heals many. Came into somebody's house and healed them. Calming storms. What kind of man is this? Even the winds and waves obey him. Man had 2 demons in him. He said to them, go, and they came out. Like, bro, who is this guy? Healing a paralyzed man. Matthew. He called Matthew the author. Right? And he was a teacher. He taught people how, like, you gotta read this. Raises a dead girl. Heals a sick woman. Heals the blind and the mute. Look, here's another one. Little bonus. When he had gone indoors, the blind man came to him and asked him, do you believe that I am able to do this? Do you believe it? Have mercy on us, son of David. 2 blind men following him, calling out. They don't even know what he looks like. They don't know what anything looks like. But they just said, hey, have mercy on us, son of David. Otherwise, hey man, I can't see nothing. Do you believe that I am able to do this? They said, yes. He touched their eyes. According to your, what's that word? The F word? I'll give you 6 seconds if you can tell me what that is. Faith. Let it be done to you. And their sight was restored. Bro, do you see this? Do you see this? Because the woman with blood believed. Because the Roman soldier believed. What they asked for, what they needed, happened. Now, I'll tell you this. There's a difference between wants and needs, 1,000%. If you can't see and you ask to, and Jesus heals your eyesight, you need that. But don't be going and praying, hey, God, let me get this Benz. Hey, God, let me get 300,000 VC on 2K. Hey, God, let me get this car I want. Let me, what they be calling them? I don't know nothing about cars. I drive a pickup truck. What they be calling them? Hey, God, let me get this Hellcat, God. Let me get it. No, bro. It don't work like that. You can just drive a little Corolla. You can drive a Honda Civic 2012. You don't need that. You just need to go from A to B. But when they tell you that somebody you know is sick, they got heart disease, is that more important than what kind of car you have? Or you want more money than you already have? No, it's not. These people were about to die. These are people that didn't have anything to lose. The servant, Roman soldier's servant, was about to die. The one with blood, she didn't have long to live. It says she was getting worse. But these people had faith in God. And Jesus was there with them. But now, we have what's called the Holy Spirit. Right? And the Holy Spirit is what we have in this world right here. Just like I said, I'm going to leave you with these 2 verses. Really this one. For we walk by faith, not by sight. Living our lives in a manner consistent with our confident belief in God's promises. You got to have faith, man. Have faith that He will bring you through whatever you're going through. And you'll have it. I appreciate y'all. We're at 49 minutes. I want to make it to 50. I want to make it to 50. Like I said, put this on in the background. Put this on in the background. We'll be able to go through it together. But like I said, definitely more episodes of this is coming. This is just the first episode is very important, bro. Because this right here is for people of this age. Having faith. If this guy can heal people and cure and raise dead people, heal sick people, people that could not see, then he can do it all for you too, bro. Hey, mouse. I gotta do my outro.